Sir, the floor is yours.
As usual, I have an intro, man, because if I don't give the glory to the one that's up top, I'm not doing justice. So I say Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man tabi wal huda. It's my introduction. It's something that if I give a speech, if I give a talk, this is where the blessings come, meaning that I give recognition to God Almighty, that everything happened by the decree of the one who is high up above. I have to give him his props. I mean, no matter what kind of gathering I'm in, what kind of city I'm in, I have to give my recognition to the one who is up above, because that's the one who gives me the ability to do everything that I do. And I thank him, and the messenger that he has sent, to God, mankind. That's my program. So today, I'm grateful again. I mean, just the transition of me meeting you and what we've been through for the little short time that we've met. I mean, it was a moment. It was a beautiful moment. So today, we're going to talk about some things that help. I want everyone to be, well understood with what took place, what is taking place, and what is going to continue taking place in society. Not just here in Philadelphia, and again, shout out. I got to give my shouts to Philadelphia. That's where I live at. That's my town. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of the Eagles, Sixers, Flyers, the Fighting Phils. Yeah, I'm a sports guy. So yeah. I give shout out to my team. My team is Philadelphia. I'm Team Philadelphia. My book, a lot of stuff happened in Philadelphia. So for those of you who haven't touched base with the book, those of you who haven't seen it, this is the book. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. It's on ebook. It's out there and it's available to the public. For those who haven't seen it, the name of the book is From Pen to Pen. I can't get it right, but it's From Pen to Pen. And it's a beautiful story. So what I wanted to do was I just wanted to touch base with my audience on what is going to be talked about inside this story. My name is Abdul Hakeem Muhammad, and I was born and raised in the streets of Philadelphia. Born and raised. I come up through the Philadelphia public schools. I didn't graduate from high school. The 12th grade, right after when it was time to graduate, this one class, English, and this other class, I think it was probably health or something like that, I had to take it over in summer school. So I didn't get to walk down the aisle. I had to go to summer school. So when I went to summer school, it was summertime. We all know that, right? So when I went to summer school, I barely completed that. At the end, I went from summer school to prison. I went from summer school to prison. So I graduated from summer school to go to a correctional facility. And that started my era of criminal activity. And I don't really want to say it started the era of criminal activity, but it was an ongoing process. Before that time, I just wasn't getting caught. Now I get caught. Now they got me. They put the silver bracelets on me. I'm getting caught with the crimes, because this is something that if nobody pays attention to anything, pay attention to this. if you engage yourself in criminal activity, sooner or later, what's going to happen? I mean, come on. We don't all have to say it at once. You're going to get caught. How do I know you're going to get caught? Because when you live inside a correctional facility, you're going to interact and engage with criminals, whether they brand new novice criminals or they well-experienced criminals. One thing that you're going to find out that you all have in common is that from the brand new guy, the novice, to the well-experienced, that everybody got caught. Everybody was, caught in the act, whether they did it or not, and they had to face the thing called the criminal justice system. So yes, you're going to get caught. How do I know you're going to get caught? I mean, because I told you, the best of the best got caught. The best of the best. Name a criminal, I guarantee you, he got caught. So we're going to move on. And today, I'm just going to touch on my beginning. I'm going to go through a couple of quotes and help you understand where we're going at with this book. The name of the book, From Pen to Pen. The title itself, it speaks for itself. However, it has a hidden meaning. It has an allegorical meaning. Okay? So some people won't catch it, some are not. Like I said, from pen to pen. On the front of the book, for those who purchased the book and able to follow along, there's 3 dots. These 3 dots, they mean something. And for those that write, those that's in the academic writing, they understand what those 3 dots mean. It's like what we would say, continuation. Like it's not going to stop there. It's going to continue on and on to the next process, to the next level. Everyone understands that point? I don't want to lose anyone. I want everyone to stay with me and stay on the same page. Okay? So right now I want to look at one. I want to look at a quote. I want to look at a quote, and I want this quote to be something that we really, try to really look at and examine, because things have to be examined. You don't just look at something and say, hey, this is this, that's that. Examine it. Let's find out why it is what it is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to look at my first quote, the first quote that I use in the book, where it speaks about who I dedicate this book to. And we all need to pay attention to this. This book is dedicated to a generation of youth who have been abandoned in the face of success and left to be victims of crimes inflicted on them by society. When you think about this statement, if you don't look at children being a part of your future, children being a part of the next leaders of the world, the next up-and-coming criminals, the next up-and-coming educators, the next up-and-coming presidents, the next up-and-coming police officers, the next up-and-coming judges, the next up-and-coming. That's what children are, the next up-and-coming. If you don't really pay attention to children, then I think you really need to. Our society does something to children that many other societies do the same. But we really have to examine this one point. This one point I want us to examine. How children are abandoned in the face of success. What does that mean? Where are we going with that? Children abandoned in the face of success. I want to share this with you. If you go inside the book, you're going to see a picture, volume 1. Volume 1. called the pen files. When you open this book up and you get to that, it's going to be a picture. It's going to be a picture of two children. It's going to be a picture of two youth. Okay? What I want you to be able to do is examine these two children being left on your doorstep. I want you to examine these two children here being left on your doorstep. And then fleeing to go and live their life according to how they want to. Because success is what they're chasing after. Now let's delve into another point of examination. This point here, foster care. How many do you know ever been through foster care? Now, flip it. Let's flip the coin. How many people do you know? That's their profession. They take kids in. But when you go in the house and you examine the house, no food in the house. You examine the house. The heat isn't working properly. The water is not working properly. And they're supposed to be taking care of who? Children. Let's look at juvenile delinquency. Let's take a step towards juvenile delinquency. How a child may start off in school and become, as they say, a problem child. He gets suspended numerous times. From that suspension, he's expelled. From him being expelled, he falls into the category of an individual that they no longer want him in the public school. So they put him inside of a school of bad kids. Kids who have problems. Kids who fall into the category of delinquency. We have a couple of schools right here in Philadelphia, a few of them. One of them, we used to call it Boone, Daniel Boone. This was a disciplinary school for children. Remember what we said? Up and coming leaders, up and coming criminals. They have a school that's preparing them for it. Why? Because in this school, you're going to find a population of individuals that engage in the same acts that this individual engages in. Birds of a feather do what? They flock together. Birds of a feather flock together. A man likes another man because of what? Because of his attributes and his characteristics that he has. Cato, another school in Philadelphia. All of these are schools connected to juvenile delinquency, meaning the individual has not reached the age of adulthood, 18. And how about that? That's another one. You got to put a question mark behind that. What's this 18 thing about? And everybody that's watching over those kids is getting a check. Everybody's getting a check. Some of them that don't even come in contact with the children, getting a check, being paid for their services. What services? You're the director. You don't interact, you don't engage, you don't do anything with these children, but you're getting paid thousands and thousands of dollars. And you really do not have you don't even have their best interest in mind. Because all you're worrying about is that paycheck. So we got to look at foster care. We got to look at juvenile delinquency. We got to look at the educational drop-off. I call it pimping poverty. Pimping poverty. We all know what a pimp is. A lot of the youth of the day don't understand what a pimp is. But all those that grew up, in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, a pimp was a guy who he was in charge of women, selling women, prostituting women. He was the one that was the voice for women, for all types of favors that men wanted. Today, that's happening with our children. They're being pimped. Why? Because these children come from homes that are broken, single parent household. They come from homes that are broken. No mother, possibly a father. No father, but a mother. No mother, no father, a grandmother. No mother, no father, an aunt. Where's the balance at for this child? This is what this book is talking about. This is what this book is going to examine. But we're going to examine it on a small level. Because one thing we want you to do is, first we want to do is turn the light bulb on in your head. That's called awareness. Now that the light bulb is on, what you going to do about it? I'm going to write about it. And I'm going to keep writing about it. And I'm going to keep writing about it. Why? Because God will not change the condition of a people until they change that which is in themselves. He will not change a condition of a people until they change that which is in themselves. I am who I am for what? Trying to change my condition. I am who I am today because of what? Trying to change my condition. My condition from what? Criminal activity to trying to be an upright man, an upright, positive individual. But what happened? I was a part of the youth. Lived in a household with just a mother, not a father. I was a part of the youth. Got suspended hundreds of times. I was a part of the youth. Was arrested as a juvenile. I was a part of the youth. Part of delinquency, juvenile delinquency. I was a part of that youth. I was a part of that organization called the youth. Now, parents, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, you have children. You have nieces and nephews. They are soon to be a part of this organization, this movement that's being pimped all throughout society. And they're taking advantage of it. They say the kid got a problem, we can get him SSI. Is that your only concern? To get a check for the child? To get a paycheck for this child? So yes, I got concerns. I got concerns because children are the future. We're going to move on. I can keep going, but we don't want to keep beating the dead horse. It's a reality. It's a situation that's taking place all over America. And either we're going to continue to sit back and watch it happen, or we're going to be advocates of change. Advocates of change. He will not change the condition of a people until they change that which is themselves. Somebody got to stand up. Why not you? So we're going to delve into the book itself and what the book consists of. The book consists of 6 volumes. 6 volumes. Each volume contains multiple chapters. We start off with the pen files because that's the name of our company. Our organization that we put together to promote this type of awareness to society is called the pen files. Why the pen files? Because it's nothing, again, I told you before, it's nothing more powerful than this sword right here. This is a double-edged sword. This is called the ink pen. This thing here has changed lives. It has corrupted lives. It has destroyed lives. It has done all types of things to all types of people. And the question is, was it a pen that was used to sign your sentence act when the judge gave you 10 to 20? He put a signature next to that. Yeah, now it's a certified sentence. When an officer arrests you and he brings you in, he gives his report. At the bottom, he signs his name. It becomes a certified piece of paper that goes on to the district attorney's office. The district attorney's office says, guess what? We're going to go to court. We're going to move forward with this. He signs his name using what? The pen. He signs his name using what? The pen. But he can come out of that. In the response, you can stand up for yourself, and utilize the same pen to defend yourself. However, many of us will do what? We pull a hammer out. We pull a gun out. We pull a knife out. We do this. We do that. Wrong. Wrong answer. This guy here, and guy like, oh, what has a pen ever done? When you say that to a person, you got to really, really sit down and examine this individual and his worth. What has a pen ever done? Libraries are built because what? People utilize the pen. Volumes and volumes of books have been written utilizing the pen. So the pen files is going to touch on some components. It's going to touch on my living environment, where I was born at. It's going to touch on my beginning, the beginning of the book, and why I call it the beginning. I throw in a story called The Hero is Born. A hero was born. Why was a hero born? Why? Because the individual that's playing a part in this story was overlooked. He was overlooked in the face of people of authority. People of authority and people of leadership was on the scene, was present, but didn't react in the manner of their position of leadership. People of leadership were on the scene, but did not act in accordance with their position of leadership. Everybody wants to be called a leader, but how many really practice leadership? So from there, I talk about my transition. That's what opens the door up to the transition. And the transition of what? What's the transition? The next volume. The next volume, volume 2, we talk about the transition of the acronyms. The transition of the acronyms. CBS. We know what CBS means. ABC. We know what that means. SWAT. SWAT. Now Facebook is all about acronyms. So inside this pen to pen series, we're gonna do what's known to society. We're gonna do something that we all accustomed to. The transition of the acronyms. Acronyms such as SCIG, PPS, LITS, CCP, CME, DDD. Oh, the triple D threat. Oh, that's the one. Please pay attention to that one there. The triple D threat. And then we go on and we move to volume number 3. Volume 3 is the icing on the cake. Volume 3, light bulbs are going to, if your light bulb isn't on by then, go to the store. I mean, Just get a whole, whole box of batteries, and get some 100-watt. Get some 100. Now stop getting them cheap 50-watt, light bulbs. Get a 100-watt. Get a 100-watt light bulb, man. You want one of them Jones that light all the way up. Light up the whole room, man. Rooms and rooms all lit up. 100-watt light bulb. You know the difference between a 100-watt and an 80-watt, a 40-watt and a 50-watt. You know the difference between a wattage of a light bulb. I want your light bulb all the way on, shining bright, man. That's how you're going to get benefit. That's where the benefit's going to come from. That's how you're going to understand this. Your light has to really be on. If your light is dim, get some batteries. Get a recharge. The battle of the essays. The battle of the essays. In this chapter, in this volume, I focus on education. And this type of education is college level education. At one time, there were more African Americans in prison than they were in college. Today, the numbers have changed. The number of African Americans in college are more than the African Americans in jail, but they're running close, which means that there has been some change. Not a dramatic, but there has been some change. Again, he will not change the condition of the people until they change that which is in themselves. Somebody's out there working. Somebody's out there doing their job. Somebody's doing their due diligence, man, towards what? Uplifting the youth. Somebody's out there putting their work in. You know who you are. Every neighborhood has one. An advocate, a leader, a positive individual promoting what? Change in the community. You know who he is. You don't want to give him his props. You don't even want to give him a pat on the back. Huh? He's the guy, he's the coach for the basketball team for the kids. He's the coach for the football team for the kids. He's the guy to do the after school programs. He's that guy that shows up. Because he's about what? Changing the lives of the children of tomorrow. He's not letting the media dictate what's going on. He's not letting the media show up and show out. He's not letting the media dictate policy, because that's all they try to do is dictate policy. Some of the things they say, yeah, that may have happened. Yeah, that may have happened in this neighborhood or that neighborhood. But guess what? Why don't you balance it out and turn it to the seesaw effect? If you're going to talk about the good of the community, the bad of the community, why not talk about the other side, the good of the community? Huh? All the kids that got straight A's for the first report, you don't talk about that. All the kids that got straight A's throughout the year, the kids that went from this level to the next level, because it became public policy. It became public policy when no kid left behind, when they started leaving kids behind, and this and that happened, and that. Come on now. It became acceptable to leave a child behind. It became acceptable to leave a kid back. But guess what? In this one, I talk about universities and how universities racially profile individuals just to keep them out, because they're afraid of what's going to happen when that individual gets that type of education. And we're moving on to our next one. The next volume is called The New Beginning. So from that school life, it's a whole new beginning. Education is power. Education is freedom. Yeah, education takes on a whole nother tool. Education, academics, academia. Yeah, this that life here. Guys talking like, yeah, I'm living that life. But you're overpowered with ignorance opposed to overpowered with education. So here's what we have to do. We're going to close it up because our time's running short. The new beginning. That's going to be volume 4. We're going to cut in real hard on that one and talk about the things for the new beginning that help me see some things from a light and from a vision that is blind to me. Then I'm going to go into this is one of my favorites. It's called rehabilitation. God will not change the condition of a people to change that which is in themselves. That's my line. That's my thing. That's my line. That's my thing. Okay? Rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is reality. Rehabilitation is reality. The prisons are not overcrowded with individuals who are true criminals. They're overpopulated with individuals who are sick, addicted to drugs and alcohol, and need to be rehabilitated. I close out my book with the next level. The next level, I take it up a notch, because now I'm talking to the politicians. Now I'm talking to the politics. Now I'm talking to the professors. Now I'm talking to the field of academia. This level here, that level where really, I come home at and close the book on the pen files. And from this, I look forward to seeing you all next week. I want you all to be tuned in. Bring your pens, bring your pads. Most of all, bring your book. Bring your book next week. We have it on Barnes & Nobles. We have it on Amazon. If you get the book from Amazon, please leave a quote. Leave a review. I mean, tell the truth. I wear a Teflon jacket, okay? You see me with a jacket on all the time. I got a Teflon vest, okay? I wear a Teflon vest. It's the Philly life. This is what we do. This is how we live. We're not afraid of being offended. We don't fear the criticization or criticizes. The truth has to be told, whether you like it or not. So again, till next week, guys. Love you all. Okay? Somebody stand up and make a change. A better change for tomorrow. Peace, guys.